Welcome, everybody. Hi, I'm Keith Vitale, and welcome to Psyche Podcast. In this special episode, I thought it'd be fun for me to pick out one of my favorite fight scenes from the one person who had the greatest impact on my career, the person who inspired me the most more than any other person, the great Bruce Lee. Now, Bruce Lee has passed away now. It's been 50 years, and so I thought it'd be fitting this year to do some episodes dedicated to his fight scenes. Now, the one I've chosen for today is the fight scene between my good friend Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee in the ending fight scene of a movie called Way of the Dragon. Now, this movie was shot in Rome, Italy, and the backdrop is the Colosseum. No better fitting backdrop than the Colosseum, where the great gladiators fought back in the day. So this is a pure Bruce Lee movie. And the reason I say that is Bruce Lee produced this film, he directed the film, and he was the fight coordinator for the film. So he has his fingerprints on all the elements of this film. Now, what I like the most about the ending fight scene isn't so much about the kicks and the punches. Believe me, Bruce Lee's kicks and punches are fantastic in every movie he's ever made. But it was the little things, the intangibles. And it's how they set up the fight scene. So you'll see the establishing shot where they get in their stances. Now take a note of Chuck Norris's stance compared and contrasted to Bruce Lee's. See how they size each other out. And they're kind of like filling each other out. Take a look. Now that's wonderful. I love that. Kind of reminds me of the spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood. The Italian director Sergio Leone, who directed those films, really created a lot of tension just by going back and forth with the camera to each other's eyes. And this it really had that kind of look and feel at the same time. So here we go. We have them in their fight scene. And as they get going, of course, Chuck Norris's character, being the bad guy, gets the best of Bruce Lee at the beginning of the film. So he ends up knocking him down. When he knocks him down, which I like, again, one of these little small nuances, when Bruce Lee is trying to get back up, it's really simple. Chuck Norris looks at him, smiles, and just wiggles his finger like to say, don't get back up. Now, he didn't scream it. He didn't have to yell. He didn't say, don't get back up. But just that little, just that. It's kind of cool. Kind of like that. So now you see Bruce Lee. He's trying to get up. Now, as he's trying to get up, you see the look of frustration on his face. He starts bouncing around. Now, take a look at that. Now, you see, he's regrouping. He's kind of figuring out who this guy is and how he's going to defeat Chuck Norris's character. Kind of reminded me of a fight movie or a film I was in called Wheels on Mills. We shot it in Barcelona. And in the end of the fight scene, Benny Urquidez is fighting Jackie Chan. Same thing happens. Benny, being the bad guy, gets the best of Jackie Chan at the beginning of the fight scene. He knocks Jackie Chan down. Jackie gets frustrated. You can see the look on his face. He gets up. He starts bouncing around, starts regrouping.
This was tough. Cool head does it. Relax. Treat it like a training session. Another round.
And you can see the impact that Way of the Dragon, that Bruce Lee movie, had on a Jackie Chan film. So now the fight starts. It's going back and forth, and really you can see that Bruce Lee is coming on, is getting the best of Chuck Norris. He's throwing dynamic punches. I love how fluid and quick but powerful his punches are. Now, I want the audience to take note of this. Once he knocks down Chuck Norris, you're just sold. Man, look how powerful this guy is. But I want you to know this. Not one technique actually hit Chuck Norris. He's just hitting air. It's an illusion. It's created by Chuck Norris's reaction to the punches. He sold it so well that when he falls down, he goes down. You really believe how powerful Bruce Lee is. Now you can think of the reverse. Imagine if Chuck Norris didn't do the job he was supposed to do, and he just had slight reactions. Well, he would have taken away from the power of Bruce Lee. So kudos to Chuck Norris. He did a fantastic job, and you can see why he went on to be a major star because he really knew how to give these reactions. It's those reactions that made that star look great, Bruce Lee. So that was really good. So now Bruce Lee takes him down, hits him with a side kick, or I mean to his knee, and he crushes his knee and he has him down. And it's my favorite part of the whole fight scene. Instead of Bruce Lee yelling at him, "Stay down," he kind of, with his eyes, he motions down to Chuck's knees. Then he gives a small turn like that, as to say, "Stay down." How cool is that? That is as good as it gets, man. I really enjoyed that, and my gosh, this is just a great scene, and you can just see Bruce Lee all over it because he created the persona, a character. It wasn't about the kicks and punches, but more about the facial expressions and telling the story with his facial expressions. So I'm so sad and not fortunate enough to have met my own hero, Bruce Lee. And of course, I was too young to be in any of his films, but I was blessed and fortunate enough to work with a lot of the people that had been in his films. People like Bob Wall. I became good friends with Bob Wall. He played O'Hara with a scar in Enter the Dragon. What a great scene that was. And so he would always recount Bruce Lee's stories, and I loved all of them. I worked with Pat Johnson, who was in that film, Enter the Dragon. I worked with, get this, Young Bao, Sammo Hung, and Jackie Chan. All three were in Bruce Lee movies. And I was like a kid in a candy store. I remember being in Barcelona. We were filming Wheels on Mills, and I had Jackie Chan just to myself. We were sitting down, and I asked Jackie, I said, "Jackie, have you ever worked with Bruce Lee before?" And he goes, "Yes." He says, "I was in Enter the Dragon." He says, and I was in the dungeon scene, that iconic dungeon scene that's world famous. He says, "I was one of the henchmen, the bad guys that fought Jackie Chan. I'm sorry, fought Bruce Lee." So I was blown away by that. So I asked him, I said, "What was your impression of Bruce Lee?" And of course, he loved it. He loved Bruce Lee. He thought Bruce Lee was great. And I don't know why I asked him this, but I said, "Have you ever considered maybe doing serious roles like Bruce Lee does?" Because right now he was only doing comedic roles. And he was kind of like not offended by it, but he was frustrated. He goes, "I can't do those kind of films." He says, "People will compare me to Bruce Lee in Hong Kong and China if I do serious roles." So he was real adamant about it, like there was no room for discussion. He goes, "No, I would never do that." Now, later on in Jackie Chan's career, of course, he's done serious roles. But it was kind of unique to get his mindset at that time in his career that he didn't want to be compared to Bruce Lee. He wanted to stand out as Jackie Chan by himself like that. So that was kind of cool. Listen, I hope you enjoyed the story. And please, I hope you check out the other episodes in the future of my favorite fight scenes of Bruce Lee. And if you did, please like this episode. I want you to like it, share it, and please subscribe. Until next time, ciao.